Welcome back to the Takeoff podcast. Merry Christmas to those of you listening. I think when this episode comes out, it's going to be a few days before Christmas. So actually, Christmas is on Friday this week. I'm quite excited about Christmas because I'm off, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually off. We're recording this on Friday. Was it the 17th?
Yeah.
And I'm off for 3 weeks. I'm very, very excited about Christmas. What about you, Ola? How excited are you about Christmas?
Very excited, but I'm not on annual leave yet, so I'm still waiting to get that Christmas buzz when I'm finally off from work.
When are you off actually for Christmas?
So that's a good question. So my actual part-time job, I'm off from Wednesday afternoon. And then I told myself I'm going to put an out of office email for All Things Money on that same Wednesday, but I just know.
Really?
Yeah, I just know I'm probably going to be working Christmas Eve, doing bits of content, finalising like the podcast for like the new year and stuff like that. So I know I'll probably be doing admin on Thursday, Friday, probably. No, me.
Wow. And how long are you thinking to switch off All Things Money? Throughout the whole Christmas period?
It'll probably be the weekend. I'm just glued.
That's me. That's like me
I'm
too.
just glued to my laptop. I think when I'm not on my laptop, I feel like I'm just wasting time. So I'm just like probably be watching Christmas films, but probably like doing bits and stuff, just brain junk on my laptop, really.
Yeah, I think being a content creator, I think there's like sometimes I feel like you're a bit restless because you're on social media. You're like, I should be creating content. You become this creator and it's really hard to become a consumer. You're like, why am I wasting time when I could just be spending this time like creating content for other people? It's just so mad.
No, exactly.
So you're working up until Wednesday. That's nice. So you got a few days before Christmas. So does work not make you work on Christmas Eve?
No, I booked my annual leave.
Really?
My job, I'm off work from Wednesday until the 4th of January, so that's good 2 weeks off. So I'm looking forward to that because I've still been working in the office. It'll be nice to not have to go into the office every day. So that'll be a nice break. But yeah, All Things Money, I can kind of just do that on the sofa, so that's quite chill.
Exactly. That's what's so nice about it. I mean, when I was off yesterday, I created content. I was like, wow, I could live this life. I'm done by one. There's nothing to do. I could absolutely live this life. So I was wondering, what's your Christmas day like? Because I won't tell you mine yet. I want to know what yours is like, and I want to see what the difference is because you're always interested to hear what people do on Christmas Day.
So mine is really, really chilled. So I just spend it with my mum and my sister. So it's the three of us at home. Presents in the morning. I say mum's cooking. Me and my mum are both cooking. Christmas lunch ready, and then just spend the rest of the afternoon either repeating the food we've eaten or just chilling watching films. And it's just really, really chilled, really relaxed. It's just nice to have all three of us together because we all lead such busy lives that it's nice to know that Christmas Day we're all in the house doing nothing.
Okay. And what are you cooking?
So
the normal turkey, potatoes,
potatoes, stuffing, pigs in blanket, gravy, the whole usual, and then a bit of jollof rice.
Yeah.
So
have to add that.
Yeah, of course. So we do everything. To be fair, it's a lot of food for just three of us, but it lasts the next. That's what we live on the next 2 weeks afterwards. So that is literally dinner, breakfast, dinner, lunch. So that's all sorted. What about you?
Yeah, no, very, very similar. So I go to my parents' house, and pretty much it's both my mum and dad cook as well. Yeah. And when my sisters were living, they would also cook. So we have everything. So in terms of siblings, there's 4 of us in total. But we're gonna have it's gonna be a bigger Christmas dinner this time because I've got my fiance and her brothers as well, so it's gonna be a lot of us, 10 of us pretty much. So we cook everything. We have the pigs in blanket, we have the jollof rice, we have stew, we have turkey, we have chicken, we have everything.
Oh, I'm so ready.
That's our first Christmas dinner, by the way, or Christmas lunch, I say. That's the first one.
Yep.
We then have a second one at my cousin's every year. We go to my cousins every year, and then we end the night with Monopoly.
Oh, right. That's great.
Monopoly, yeah. Monopoly is our yearly game. Fights don't erupt over Monopoly. We're quite civilized when it comes to Monopoly. That. Of course, people cheat. People, do some backroom deals and stuff like that. Yep. But no, it's quite fun. It's quite fun. So I'm really looking forward to it, especially spending family time because I feel like 2021's been an interesting year. Not as hard as 2020, but it's been challenging because of this whole, Omicron variant. And I feel like more people this year are getting COVID. Well, I know more people who have COVID this year as opposed to last year, which is...
Yeah, all of my friends, crazy. I'm the only one out of my friends right now who has not got COVID. So I'm staying indoors. Like, I refuse now, between now and Christmas, because it's my mum's birthday tomorrow, on Tuesday. I think goes live, Tuesday is my mum's birthday. Then we've got Christmas and Boxing Day, and I refuse to have COVID again. Had COVID last year, and I'm not having it again, so I'm staying at home.
Did you? I had no clue that you had it. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, was it bad?
Rough. Like, I wouldn't even wish it on my worst enemy, like, at all, let alone the Omicron variant. Like, no, thank you. Yeah. I'm tapping out of that one.
Yeah, stay safe, people. Just make sure that, like, you're masking up, because clearly
it's everywhere.
Whatever form of COVID that's going around right now, it's quite contagious. So just do please be careful with it. Mask up. You know, we don't need to do this no mask gang. It's not worth it. No, honestly, it's not. Really I've had COVID too. Anybody that's told you that has symptoms of COVID, it's not nice. It's not nice. So I was thinking about, like, 2021 and, you know, reflecting. So I was thinking, what is, like, the one money lesson that you've learnt this year?
Definitely, well, two. I've had two lessons. One, definitely the power of investing. Like, I've invested consistently this year, but mainly more. The reason why I think it's more important this year because of inflation. Like, inflation has been so high this year, and interest rates have been pathetic. That I think investing has been so important in terms of, like, growing wealth and making sure that my money is accumulated well and using my money wisely. And also, my second lesson is to also try and remove the fear of spending money. Like, for me, this is one that I've only learned recently. Again, all my friends always think I'm really tight with money, but it mainly comes with being just financially anxious. Like, I'm just always anxious about spending money frivolously. So I'm not someone that will go spend thousands of, like, money, pounds on, like, stuff that I don't really need. Rarely treat myself, but I think at the end of this year, especially when it came to, like, treating others, like, I'm always treating others. Like, my mum's very spoilt for her birthday this year. But for me, like, I just very rarely spend, other than going out, like, for me, I don't really treat myself other than that. So I think for me, it's just learning, like, you know, that you can actually still treat yourself and not be guilty about it too. Yeah.
I think that definitely, I think that happens when you become, like, a saver.
Yeah.
You know, they always say, you can be a spender or a saver, right? And when you become a saver, it's, like, so hard to spend your money. You're like, actually, should I do something better with it? Should I invest it? Should I save it for emergency fund and stuff like that? And I think it's just about being balanced, right? And I think you've got the right mentality just to be like, you know what? I need to treat myself. I deserve it. And you do deserve it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think we have to be extreme here. I don't like to live in extremes. I think that it's not about living on cans of beans and then just being like, I'm going to save all my money. I'm not going to, like, spend any of it. Like, at the end of the day, you've got to enjoy life. I always, like, you know, say to people, you know, do things that you enjoy the most. Of course, don't be excessive. Don't be excessive in anything. Just, you know, just try and find the right balance. I really like those money lessons. I think for me, I think a money lesson, I didn't really think of it beforehand, but, you know, I think for me, I think it's that, you know, money is important, but it's not the most important thing in the world.
Yes.
I think it's important, you know, to help you achieve what you need to achieve in life. But there are other things aside from that. And I think when I went to Nigeria, I understood that money was important, but I also understood, actually, you know, there's other things. There's a lot of people here without money and they're living, you know, a decent life. Yeah. They're living an abundant life. So I think for me, it was the fact that, you know, sometimes I feel like we make money this be end and end all. You know, if you don't get that much money, you're like a failure, when that's not, you know, that's not the truth.
Yeah.
At all. So yeah, that was my money.
No, I like that. I like that one.
So what would you say is your biggest highlight of 2021?
So that's a good question. So I've got two again. One, being a guest on the Martin Lewis Money Show. That literally made my year.
Yeah. Wow.
Met the Martin Lewis, like, fangirl moment. And then last week I got interviewed on BBC Radio London, so that was another huge highlight.
You didn't say that. How did I miss that?
I shared it on Instagram.
Oh, I must have. I completely missed it. I did not see that. Whoa, what is going on?
Yeah, so yeah, those.
Do you have a post about it?
So no, I shared it on my story. I was like, guys, I'm going on BBC Radio
Come
London.
on. Why are you not sharing it? Why is this not coming on post? What's going on?
Yeah, no, I probably should a bit more. But
yeah, you're trying not to mess up your grid.
Oh, right? 100%. That's how it works as a creator.
Oh my God. You know what? I've let go of that. I don't care. I honestly don't even care how my grid looks. It looks like whatever it needs to look like. I'm putting out my content, whatever.
That needs to be me in the new year, but slowly, but small steps.
Wow, that is epic. Yeah, Martin Lewis, for those that don't know, is I don't know what to call him. He's not really a financial influencer.
He's the financial expert. Like, if you don't know Martin Lewis, get to know. Yeah. Like, he is
he's a financial expert.
Yeah, he is the man. Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah, he's massive. Yeah, he's got he started Money Saving Expert, which provides you tips and basically everything. And he was pretty much like the first person to do that, and he's been doing it for like over 10 years. So yeah, he's definitely like recognized for it. He's massive.
Huge.
I learned a lot from him actually as growing up. The funny thing is, I don't even know how, but
yeah, literally,
I signed up to his newsletter like 10 years ago somehow. I do not know how I found him or what it was. I think I must have just been on some site. This is how you know I was definitely destined for money, because something was going on in my head. I was like, yeah, you need to sort yourself out. And then I stumbled upon this guy. So yeah, that's really cool. Well done on doing that. Hopefully bigger things on 2022.
What about you? What were yours?
For me, my biggest highlight is starting this podcast, because it wasn't planned. Honestly, you know what the funny thing is? I wanted to start a podcast in last year at some point, but it was like a completely different thing. It was going to be called Savvy Talks, and it was going to be, the direction was completely different. This year, I kind of just got into jazz. Like, actually, you know what? I want something where I can do it consistently, and I can talk about these topics. And it was originally going to just start off as a YouTube series, right? And then I spoke to my fiance. She's like, "Yeah, you might as well make it into audio podcast." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's true." Started doing it. I didn't really know where it would go, and yeah, I feel like I've met so many fantastic people and learned from so many fantastic people like yourself and so many other guests. So for me, that's definitely been like the highlight of the year for me.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, it's been great. It's been great, and I hope listeners as well has been the highlight of the year for you too. So I think as well, like sometimes we make plans, we make goals, and sometimes they don't quite come through. So what is one thing you thought would work out, but it didn't quite work out as well as you planned this year?
That's an interesting question, because I actually made a LinkedIn post about it a couple of weeks ago. So I actually set myself 5 personal goals. I've only achieved 2.
Wow, okay.
And one of the main goals that I didn't get to achieve this year was finish the year in Australia.
Australia again? Yeah, wait, hold up. What's going on? What do you mean?
So obviously at the beginning of the year, you always set yourself goals, don't you? So this was literally one of my first goals I set myself back in January, and I was hoping to at least spend Christmas in Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, here I am.
Really? Okay, you're gonna spend Christmas there?
Yeah, or at least
why? Okay.
Yeah, so obviously that was my original plan. Post uni was to move there. Obviously now that didn't happen. So I was thinking, okay, this is the year that I'm going to go to Australia. Okay. No, still here. But I think
is it because of COVID?
No, I think now my goals always change, don't they? They always evolve.
They do. Yeah.
I think it was like it got to March. Obviously, we were in lockdown in March, and I got to there and I was like, not too sure about it anymore. And then mid-year, all things money started booming properly. PR and all this stuff that was going on. I was thinking, my goals just completely changed, and now Australia is very, very much at the back of my mind now compared to what it was at the beginning of the year. So I think goals just naturally evolve anyway.
Yeah, no, that's true. They do, and I think it's all right as well if you don't meet your goal. Yeah. It's a goal. It's not. It's not a rule.
This is it.
I know that's not a great example, but it's a goal. It's something you are trying to achieve. But if you don't achieve it, it doesn't mean that
you're a failure.
It doesn't mean you're a failure. I think you know what? Yeah, I'm trying to I'm getting a little bit anti to certain motivational talks, certain entrepreneur stuff, and I'm trying to set the record straight. I think with certain things, it's not like I'm setting out to do that, but I'm also trying to be realistic because I kind of use myself as an example to be actually, you know what, there were a lot of years that I didn't achieve achieve stuff. There was a lot of years that I set goals I didn't, set out, but I did still manage to achieve some of my bigger goals, because that's just life, right? Life is not just a straight line up curve. It's like zigzaggy, and, it looks like basically like honestly, if you're trekking past, like, doing some crazy kind of hike. That's what it is. It's not so straightforward, and a lot of people like have this idea in mind, like, in the next 10 years I'm gonna be a millionaire, and every year it's gonna be great, and and
I can confirm it's not like that. It's not like that. And even me sitting here right now, like finishing the year on a high, but my goodness, did I have some lows in 2021? Like, it's been tough. But not everyone sees that. Like, everyone will always see me as like the bubbly Ola, when the majority of this year I've probably spent it in tears, just because so much has gone on. It's been so tough that, people also need to realise that, like, everyone's gone through it this year. So if you haven't achieved your goals, it's not the end of the world. Exactly.
Trust me, we all have goals we want to achieve, and we don't achieve it. So I think it's just important just to be easy on yourself. If you I think for yourself, achieving 2 out of 5, that's still great in my opinion. I think that's that is good. Okay, so looking forward to 2022, what is one thing that you wish for in 2022?
So one would be no lockdowns.
Okay, interesting.
That's one thing that I'm genuinely praying right now. And two, I think, is like a personal, like, inner self goal, is just to not be too hard on myself. I think this year I've spent so much time beating myself over everything that I didn't achieve, and forgetting everything I did achieve. Like, my milestones list this year was insane. If you don't have a milestone list, makes one for next year, because it allows me to reflect everything I have achieved. And I think going forward, it's just, for me, I just need to just stop beating myself if I don't get this certain contract, or haven't made it into like XYZ. Like, it's not the end of the world. Or like, you're doing so much else that you need to actually celebrate those little wins as well. So that would definitely be another goal for me for the new year.
I like that. So 2022, like, the key word or the key theme, should I say, for that is just to be nice to yourself. That's what it sounds like. Yeah. We've had, let's be real, people, listeners, we've had a tough 2 years. We have. We're still going through a pandemic where people don't even know what's going on, and we're expected to, like, live our life like as if everything's normal. Yeah. We've gone through restrictions, travel is up and down. 1 minute you can travel, 1 minute you can't travel. 1 minute you don't have to wear your mask. Next minute you're getting fined if you don't, wear your mask. People are dying from this. New variants are coming up. So it's, it's been a tough year. It's been a tough 2 years. And I think it's true. We got to just relax. Be easy on ourselves. And, you said something really important, like, focus on what you've actually achieved. A lot of people, we achieve stuff, but we're so focused on the things that we didn't achieve.
Exactly.
I didn't do this. I didn't do this. This failed. That failed. But wait, hold up. Do you know where you are? Look how far you've got.
This is it.
You actually got this deal. You actually got this, contract, like you said. You got to go on Martin Lewis, for example. All of this stuff, some people be like, wow, that is crazy. So I think there is sometimes a tendency to focus on maybe one or two small points and make it bigger than the majority of positives. So I really like that. I think for me, one thing that I wish for my wedding to go smoothly next year, and to be no issues.
I'm praying for you.
That's what I wish. I also wish for the podcast to keep growing.
Yes.
That would be nice, because I've got some guests set in my hair views.
I'm not.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you guys, so that if I do get these guests in the future, you're like, Atto, well done.
Go on.
I'll give you a few people. It's not gonna be next year, but it's gonna be at some point. let me give you the list, because you guys are gonna think Atto's crazy out here. Okay.
Go on.
So I want to get Auntie Joshua. That's one.
Okay.
I want to get Lewis Hamilton on.
Okay.
I want to get Stormzy.
Okay, now we're talking.
I want to get Saka. I want to get Davido on.
Oh yeah.
I want to get Davido on. I would like to get Patricia Bright. I think she's financially savvy, so she'll be great.
If you can get her on,
she's my
be good to have conversations with.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Okay. You see, there we go.
I love her. Absolutely love her.
That would be the number one supporter of that.
I would be.
Someone that's very interesting, that's different, that I didn't think before. But I would like to get Nella Rose on because I feel like she's definitely got a business mind.
Yes.
She's done really well in her career. So it'll be nice to understand that side of her. So yeah, those are a few people on my list. I've got some more.
I like that.
But yeah, in the future. So yeah, guys, help me help the podcast grow.
I like that. I'm here for that one.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so if you guys have listened to the budgeting episode before, you know that I've brought Ola on. So I thought that I would bring her back. So to me, she's like the budgeting queen. So we wanted to discuss how we can get our money to stretch over Christmas because it's gonna get really tough out here right now.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm getting paid on the 22nd of December. So I'm not sure, Ola, when you get paid, but that's about a week earlier for me. And then the next time I'm expecting to get paid is in the next 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So basically end of January.
It's long.
So I'm thinking, how can someone make sure that they're able to stretch their salary until the end of January?
People are going to hate my answer, but it is with a budget. You need to budget. Right. Like, as annoying and boring as it sounds, like without a budget, you're going to spend that money within like the first 2 weeks, especially with Christmas, especially with New Year's. Okay. Boxing Day, like everything between now and the next payday, there's going to be a lot of outgoings. That's just natural. But what you need to do is set a budget, and you need to be realistic and talk to yourself about how much you actually want to spend and how much you can afford to spend during that period. So for me, like all my main Christmas presents are all bought now, so at least I know that's not coming out of my main paycheck. But I know I'm going out for New Year's. I know I'm seeing friends between now and New Year's. So it's just, again, making sure, you know, how much can you afford to spend? If your outgoings seem a lot higher, is there a way you can kind of change your plans, or can you reduce the outgoings that are going out to help make your money spread? Because it is a long period. It's probably the longest period people need to make their money last. Okay,
cool. And so I guess for this kind of period, obviously for those that don't have a budget at all, right? And I guess this is your time to like set up your budget. Would you recommend like a weekly budget in this kind of instance? Because it's like 5 weeks is a little bit of a weird thing. Yeah. So is it something like you would, say you get paid 2,000 and you've got £1,000 to spend money, you would then split that over 5 weeks? So effectively you can only spend £200 a week. Yeah. And that should get you through. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I do. I do it that way. Or if you know you've got like, let's just say, for example, I've got Winter Wonderland coming up. I've got New Year's coming up. I've also got ice skating coming up. So I've got 3 big events that I'm going out with my friends. They probably all include dinner, all this stuff. Like, even if you can't set yourself a weekly budget because you're not sure, you know, you might actually spend less than your weekly budget, but how much are you going to spend for these next 3 outings? Like, okay, ice skating, are you going to go out for dinner? If you're going to go out for dinner, set yourself a limit on how much you're going to spend for dinner. Or, you know, if you've got New Year's, how are you going to create a budget for that? So it's just being mindful again about what events have you actually got coming up as well. And I think that's where I've kind of tweaked how I budgeted this month, just because I'm not really going out every week, every day that I need a weekly budget, but I know I've definitely got some bigger events coming out that I've set my budgets for that.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay, listeners, you heard that. So weekly budget. Winter's here, you know. Winter's is no longer coming. It's here. So yeah, let's just be sensible. So as we mentioned, there are a few pitfalls, right? So for me, the biggest ones by far, Boxing Day, New Year's, and then, you know, the famed January sales. Yes. Those are the 3 peak things, aside from everything anybody else wants to do, just like you're going out at night and all that sort of stuff. So Boxing Day, the thing with Boxing Day, these retailers are getting even smarter. They're getting savvier. They know that people want to spend. These guys will start advertising to you on Christmas Day. Yeah.
There's already sales going on. There's already sales going on.
Yeah, they will advertise you right up until Boxing Day. They want to get your hard-earned money. Yeah. So how does somebody prevent themselves from overspending on Boxing Day? Because I feel like, for me, I remember back in the days what we used to do when we were young, before like all this social media stuff, we used to go to Central for Boxing Day shopping. That was what you did, right? Yeah. As a young person, you would
you'd brave those sales.
Zara, H&M, people get there early, rush through. Hey, look, you found some good stuff. You found some really good stuff. So, like, how does somebody prevent themselves from overspending? Because I feel like it's very easy, right? You go into Levi's, for example, you see something 50% off. You go and buy that. You go into Nike, you see trainers are 50% off, So how does somebody prevent themselves from overspending?
So for me, it would be about making a list of things before you even hit the sales, or even before Christmas. I'm sure you've always got a Christmas list, but let's just assume you don't get everything on your Christmas list. So make a list of everything you actually want. Okay. Then may include things you actually need. Make a differentiation. Yeah. Do you need these items on your wish list, and do you just want them because you want them for the sake of it? Either's fine, because I've got a wish list of things that I want to treat myself to in the sales. That's fine. But it's making that list and making sure you actually stick to it. So for me, there's a pair of trainers that I want to buy myself. I'm waiting for ASOS to drop a 20% code so I can buy them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's about making that list, and I know I'm only buying these trainers and I'm not buying anything else because I could afford something else, but do I really need 50% off Levi jeans? No, I've got plenty of jeans. So it's just about being realistic with yourself and actually being honest and being wise and thinking, okay, what do I actually want to buy? What do I need? And sticking to that list. Or if you're someone that deep down you don't need to do any shopping, try and just not fall victim to these sales and just shut your laptop off. Just don't
shut your laptop off. Don't go to Central.
Yeah. Just close your laptop and close your eyes.
Love that. Yeah. I completely agree with that approach. I don't write lists as much as I should, and I think writing lists is definitely an important part of shopping, and that's how you won't get caught out. I think another thing that I'm gonna try and do this more. I think, to be fair, I kind of do it to a certain extent, but it's transferring a certain amount into your account. This is where having lots of accounts are handy. Because then it means say you just want to spend £100 in a Boxing Day sales, right? You transfer just £100 and that's it.
Yeah, and it's finished. That's all
you're spending is gonna fall, because you're gonna have to check your account. You don't want to decline at the till. Yeah. I know it's embarrassing. Yeah. Nobody wants to decline at the till. Yeah. So you will force yourself to check, and you'll force yourself to keep in budget. That's how you kind of do it.
Yeah, and to be fair, the fact that you've touched on other accounts as well led me to another tip. Is please, if you can, avoid shopping with your credit card, because my limit on my credit card is £2,000. If you can avoid shopping with your credit card for the Boxing Day sales, it also reduces how much you can actually spend. So rather than seeing as obviously you've got your credit card, you've got £1,700 limit, stick with your debit card, because you know that when it's maxed out, and you ain't able to overspend after that. So again, just being mindful, and if you can transfer money to a separate account that has a lower overdraft facility, or has less of an amount in it, then that's probably your best bet.
Yeah, I like that, and I think it's quite important, because a lot of people definitely do have the habit of, let me spend on a credit card, I'm going to pay back off with my January salary, which is just not the right mindset to be in. You don't want to start 2022 thinking, how am I going to pay this back, because I got gassed because of Christmas fever. Yes, they know what they're doing. This marketing, let me tell you, clever. They know what they're doing. They are buttoning you up to get you feeling giddy so you can spend more. This is what it's designed for. I'm not trying to say don't spend your money, don't enjoy. But I'm just saying, be mindful that it's in their best interest to get you to spend money. Yes, we have to spend money for the economy to run, but you don't have to spend more than you can, right? You don't want to, if you can't afford it, right? Why would I want you to suffer? I don't want you to suffer. Yeah. I want you to be Atto, I'm happy with what I purchased. I'm happy that I stay to budget. That's why we're having this episode.
Exactly.
So thanks for that. Those are great tips. I would also say don't go to Bicester Village. Don't go to Bicester Village. Don't go there, because you're coming back here. Yeah, you're not coming back. You're definitely going over budget. I went one time. All my Christmas money that I got. So as a present one year, I got money. I got cash. Right, so if this was me now, that cash would have gone into investments. The cash then went into Prada trainers, Levi this, Nike this. The whole thing went. Do I even wear those Prada trainers? I wore those 3 times. Like,
I can hear your pain still.
Trust me, don't go to Bishop Village. You'll see the whole of London there as well. So, trust me, it's crazy. Wow. See, you're laughing because you've been as well, haven't you?
I've been good. I've never actually been to Bicester Village for the sales.
Okay, cool.
To be fair, we always have a good tradition of going up to the city on Boxing Day in the evening. But yeah, I've never really spent much. Normally because I don't really get gifted Christmas money for Christmas either. So my money's the same before and after Christmas. That I know what I can and can't afford in the sales.
Yeah. No, it just brought me back.
I can tell.
So another really, really expensive day. And it's crazy because all of this stuff happens in such a short period. So you've got obviously New Year's Eve. Everybody is going to go out, going to do different things. And notoriously, it's always expensive. When I say expensive, I don't mean just generally going out. Going out, can be expensive. I mean entry fees are going up, drinks are going up. These guys are charging you stupid amounts of money for the same club and the same vibe. If it was a week ago, so how can somebody are there any sort of tips that you would say to just make sure that somebody just sort of controls themselves on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, so there's 2 kind of New Year's Eves that people can have. COVID permitting, you could have a nice chilled quiet one. I know a lot, some people I know don't actually go out on New Year's Eve. Have a chill one. Maybe have a house party instead. You would save so much money if you just had a house party instead.
That's true.
I know a couple of people are having a house party, but I'm not being confined into a house after the amount of lockdowns we've had. I'm going out, I'm not going to lie. So if you are someone that likes to go out, then my number 1 tip would be to, again, set yourself a budget for that night. So how much are you allowing yourself to spend? I have a Monzo account, so I will take out the maximum amount of money I want to spend that night on a Monzo card, and once it's maxed out, it's finished. Or you can cash out the money. I know some nightclubs don't necessarily accept cash anymore, but another alternative would be to cash your money, so again, you can't overspend. Another thing, if you're a drinker, I like to drink, I'm not going to lie, pre-drink before you go out. Don't waste your money on alcohol in bars and clubs. They're so expensive nowadays. Obviously with inflation, bars and clubs now need to survive. So obviously the only way they can survive is hiking their prices up. So if you can, pre-drink beforehand, get a little bit giddy before you go out, then again, that's a huge lifesaver. And also, if you're going out again, pre-book your cabs.
Yeah,
that's one thing that I need.
Really,
you
do that? How do you do that? Can you do it with the Uber, Bolt, and all
you can't do it with Uber and Bolt, but Uber and Bolt automatically will have surge pricing on that night out, so it will end up pretty much matching the same as a taxi office.
That is
so what you're best doing is pre-booking your cab a week beforehand and making sure you ask for a quote from the cab man. How much should that charge is going to be beforehand, so you've got a record of that conversation, and then you know how much you're actually going to be spending on cabs that night. Because the last thing you want to do, remember we got stranded in London, didn't we?
Stupid expensive.
So the last thing you want to do is get stranded, especially on New Year's. You've just had the best night, and the last thing you want to be, you don't want to finish on a low because you can't get home, or taxis are £200 just to get home. So that's another tip of mine as well.
Okay. No, I completely agree. Pre-drinks, I feel pre-drinks the best part of the night.
Always.
Generally. Because that's when you can hear each other. That's when you can actually talk. When you're in a club, you can't talk. You're just dancing. Yeah, that's fun too. But pre-drinks is definitely, for me, it's the best part of a night out. So I don't know why more people didn't do it and why more people just don't get drunk at that point. Because you're drinking the same drink. It's the same. I don't get it. You buy JD outside of a club, inside, it's the same.
Yeah.
You've
got more alcohol concentration in your drink because you pour yourself more than the clubs do, because they're so shrewd with how much they share in a shot that you're better off just drinking at home.
Exactly. So yeah, it's crazy. And I really like the booking your cab, because that's very true. everybody's going to be booking a cab. So you're right, like surge is going to be, it's going to be crazy to probably get. They'll probably cancel on you because they're like, you know what, you're not giving me bare money. So that's another thing, because if you're going a short, you know, way away, they're probably like, nah, we want to get as much money as possible so we can come back. So yeah, I like those tips. So obviously some people are not going to listen to our tips. They're going to get to January 1st. Less than 30 days to be paid, but you know, they pretty much spend most of their money on Boxing Day and New Year's, which can easily happen. It can happen to anybody. So you know, so what can somebody do then at that point to make sure that they you know, stretch their money till they get paid?
So one of my tips would be to like review your finances. So what have you got out, like going out between the 1st of January and your next payday? So you know, you might have like bills, you might have your rent, you may have like your car to pay for, I don't know what other people have going out, but you may have those outgoings. Is there anything else that is going out between now and your next payday? If there is, can you reduce it? Can you maybe remove it? And again, just have that sit down with yourself and be like, okay, I don't actually need, rather than paying, let's say I order HelloFresh boxes for my meals. Yeah. Can I then just shop at Aldi for the next couple of weeks and make that money stretch further than, you know, spending on a HelloFresh box? Because I know a few of my friends use HelloFresh boxes and where they live in London, which for me, I would never. But anyway, besides the point. But yeah, see how, like, what you can.
Big up Aldi, by the way.
Yeah, big up Aldi.
Yeah, I'm an Aldi guy.
Yeah, Aldi, Lidl, they're my go-to. But yeah, just review your finances and see what you can and can't, what you can cut out. And then also, you know, it sounds really cheeky, but I did have this conversation on BBC Radio London, but is there any gifts that you didn't like necessarily that you can maybe sell and, you know, gain some extra cash?
We're selling gifts now. Wow, we're selling gifts now. What? It's not even a week old. We're selling gifts. Wow. Okay.
But let's be honest. Like, there may be some bath sets, or, you know, that you may not necessarily need, or, you know, or you can have a New Year clear out, because I'm definitely due of a clear out. So is there any clothes that you don't need that you can sell? Again, find creative ways of increasing that income before you get paid next.
Yeah, no, that's funny. It's funny you said bath sets, because well, I don't know if it's an African thing. I feel like it's a Nigerian thing to get at least one bath set every Christmas. I used to get socks every Christmas.
At least you'll use the socks. I don't. Yeah. I still don't understand. You know what? You know what it is? It really grieves my soul when I'm walking into Superdrug and Boots and I see all these like gift set, like these bath gift sets. Like they look cute and they actually wrap up really nicely to make a gift, but no one's using these bath sets. Like, I've got so many like scented shower gels from the last few Christmases that are still in my in my bathroom cupboard. But yeah, I mean, you know, if you've got stuff that you can sell, again, sell that on, but obviously keep it on the DL, because no one wants to find out that you resold your Christmas presents.
Yeah. You definitely, if you're gonna go down that route, and I mean, sometimes it is, you know, it is needed. You know, if you really don't like it, then yeah, there's no point, right? Maybe somebody else is gonna make better use of it. But yeah, hopefully, you know, this should be an incentive to be good with your money. This should be definitely an incentive. No, thanks so much for those tips. You know, listeners, I do hope that you do have a great Christmas. You enjoy it. You know, I think, you know, also reflect on your year as well. What were your highlights? You know, what did you learn this year? What didn't go so well for you? And yeah, what do you wish for as well in 2022? Enjoy the boxing sales if you're going to take part. Enjoy the new year. I'll be speaking to you just before the new year as well. We'll have an episode just before then too. Ola, do you have any Christmas gifts? I'm going to call them Christmas gifts for the listeners.
One, try and create that budget and try and stick to it. I know we're all human, but just try if you can. And also, just enjoy Christmas. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, just enjoy the festive period with your family if you're able to. Again, like, Christmas was robbed from a lot of people last year, so if you are able to, you know, celebrate it with loved ones this year, just take advantage, enjoy it, rest up. I need to rest. So yeah, I feel like that would be my main Christmas gift. Just enjoy your time with your family and your loved ones.
Fantastic, love it. I was gonna give the same Christmas gift. Yeah, just enjoy it. I feel like it's the one day in a year where you get to relax, you get to watch cheesy films, you get to eat, drink till your heart's content. So yeah, please do enjoy it. Try not to work on that day. Try to, maybe not even be on your phone. Just spend time with people, like have face-to-face time with people if you can.
I'm deleting apps off my phone for Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I like that.
Because I know what I'm so bad. I always refresh my emails. I always check Instagram. So I told myself for Christmas Day, I'm just going to delete the apps off my phone. Because I'm going to be on my phone regardless. There's no point saying come off my phone, but just delete the apps for that day and just be completely off it.
Okay, wow, that's a good tip. Yeah. That's another gift from Ola. Fantastic. So yeah, it's been great having you on the episode, Ola. I hope that you have a great Christmas too.
Thank you very much.
We'll be chatting again.
Yeah, we
will. So listeners, thanks for listening to this episode of the Takeoff Podcast. Have a great Christmas, and I'll see you next week.